Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're well and keeping safe. I hope that you had a nice productive week. I hope that you're gonna have a nice productive weekend as well. So it's been a minute, it's been a minute. Yes. Have I been away from the charts? No. As you know by now, I did start off my community. So we had our online sessions each and every single week. Have I been away from YouTube? Yes, I've been. But we're here now, and coming on this platform, it is amazing to basically show y'all that there's a few goals I set out for myself, and a few goals I can basically tick off till now, from January until now, and it feels quite amazing. It's honestly quite amazing. So from me to you, please ask yourself, how can I get better? What's my goals? Set those goals, set yourself some realistic targets, reach those targets, and it's not just about reaching those targets. It's also about you basically becoming a better person. I want to say, like, involving mentally and physically. So mentally, I've been setting myself goals to basically improve myself, and I can say mentally I have been improving just a little bit, and I can go on further on in the near future. Physically, yes, I am a member at the gym now, so we're gonna work on that. So other than that, I hope that you guys have been doing quite well. Okay, in today's session, we are going to cover a market breakdown on what we can expect for the up and coming week, or basically how I am approaching the market for this up and coming week. So let's get it. Let's get it. So starting off from a monthly time frame, um, we can still see that we are currently still in somewhat of a bullish trend towards the upside, right? But looking at current price over here, right? Looking at current price over the course of these 1, 2, 3 months we had, right? I can see that we had a weak thrown towards the downside. We came back up. With the next candle, weak thrown towards the downside, we came back up. This bull candle, weak thrown towards the downside, came back up, closed quite bullish, right? Now all these wicks thrown towards the downside over here, this is a sign of rejection, right? This is a sign of rejection, telling me that we can potentially see this monthly candle coming towards the downside and have another move back towards the upside eventually, right? Or this is trading. This is trading. We need to be reactive and not predictive, right? But for now, this is telling me a sign of rejection, so we can potentially see another move back towards the upside. But we also have to prep ourselves that Nasdaq can easily just flood towards the downside as well. But do we trade our monthly time frame? Not necessarily. We don't trade. Well, I don't trade the monthly time frame, but if I can go to my weekly time frame, this is basically where I can find myself, set myself a few targets, directional targets. Let's say, for instance, if I'm gonna go bullish, I'm gonna have my target, my overall target, to where I basically want to see price go. If I'm bearish, I have my overall target on where I basically want to see price hit into. Okay, so looking at our weekly time frame, let's identify structure. Let's identify structure first. Okay, structure. Let's start off from this point over here. We do have this nice low. We do have a nice lower low, and we do have this nice lower low over there, right? Looking at our highs, we do have this nice high. We do have this nice lower high. We do have this nice lower high to a market giving us a higher high over there. Now, with the market giving me a higher high, this is an indication that we can still potentially see upside movement. If I can just do this, down, up, right? We can see that we have some sort of an actual double bottom formation over here, telling us that we are changing the structure from this nice bear market into an actual bull market, right? Now, where is the areas I will basically want to find myself boxing out, seeing where price can potentially hit into, right? Now, we did have this nice actual range bound market over there. So long term, right? Long term, I'm expecting Nasdaq to hit back inside this region for a potential dip back towards the downside. Okay, long term. Why? Because when we breach below this area, this previous area of support, when we broke below this area, we haven't came back for a retest just of yet. Okay, we haven't came back for a retest. So I'm expecting Nasdaq to hit back inside this region for a potential dip back towards the downside, right? But if we're gonna keep on heading towards the upside, please do not forget, this actual trend line which we have over here, right? Please do not forget this trend line. Once we breach below, we haven't came back for a retest, so we can potentially even see Nasdaq head all the way to this area over here for a potential dip back towards the downside. But that is long term. Okay, that is long term. So let's look at current price. I'm gonna box out this area over here. I'm gonna box out this area just like that, as an area of resistance. As you can see over here, we respected once, twice over there, right? Now we're basically heading back towards the downside. Where are we heading into? Basically this actual neckline which we see over here, down, up, right? Here's the actual neckline. There is the actual neckline. Now price can come anywhere within this actual neckline, right? Price can come anywhere within this neckline before having a nice move back towards the upside. Okay, it's not always textbook. A textbook, the double bottom would basically look something like this. We come back into the neckline and then we head back towards the upside, right? But we can easily come all the way down into the middle of the neckline and then have a rally towards the upside. We can easily come all the way down to the tip of the double bottom and then have a nice rally back towards the upside. Now, where do we know, or when do we know we are going towards the upside? This is where our lower time frame is basically coming in place. Okay, so within this box, I'm gonna keep this box boxed out just like that. We do have our area of resistance over here, and this whole area would basically be an area of support. Yes, it looks quite messy, right? It looks quite messy. Traditionally, I want to say textbook, we are tapping inside the actual neckline, so we can expect some sort of an actual lower pullback towards the upside for a potential dip or a potential move back up. But let's see what our actual lower time frame is telling us. Okay, let's see what our daily time frame is telling us. Okay, now on my daily time frame, right? On my daily time frame, I can see that we came inside this area, we tapped into it twice. We rejected this area, but on Friday we came all the way towards the downside, closing quite bearish, right? Now if structure is gonna remain bearish, what is this gonna tell me? What's gonna happen on my weekly time frame, right? Keep in mind, weekly time frame, we do have the nice double bottom formation over here. We can come anywhere inside this actual area. Okay, we can literally come anywhere inside this actual area. Now I'm gonna box it like this so that it can look more neat, and then I'm gonna box out my area of resistance over here so that it can look more neat, and then I'm gonna remove these areas over here. So now I'm basically just focusing on current price, right? On what can potentially happen over here. So if we're gonna basically reject this area of support over here, lower time frame, where would my next target be? My next target would basically be this area of resistance over there, a zone to zone. Okay, but looking at my daily time frame, if we're gonna keep on rallying towards the downside, where can we potentially hit back into? As you can see over here, we also do have another actual double bottom type nature over here, type nature structure over here, so I'm gonna box out this actual neckline over here as well. As you can see, once we broke above, we haven't came back for a proper retest, right? So if my lower time frame is going to remain bearish in structure, this is a potential area where I can find myself hitting, having price hit into. So basically, if we can have a break below, all I'm gonna wait for is a retest for a move back inside this area over there. Another zone, right? Another zone. So I hope you're following me on what I'm basically doing. You can always find yourself basically just repeating the video. That is actually an actual dope thing to do. Okay, until you understand it. Now, if we're gonna keep on remaining bearish, this is a potential area where I can find myself hitting price into. Okay, looking at structure on our daily time frame as well, we can see that we had this nice actual high over here. we had this nice lower high, and then we created this higher high over there, right? We are bullish in structure. We are bullish in structure. You know, with this move towards the downside, you know, these actual candles over here, I won't consider as a proper actual correction. You know, if we had two bull candles thrown towards the upside, I would have considered this as an actual low, you know, then I would have considered this as an actual lower low, right? But this for me is just an actual correction. Okay, this is just a correction. So can we see Nasdaq basically, you know, heading all the way back towards the downside, you know, for an actual higher low, for potential move back towards the upside? Because that's literally what we are waiting for, the actual higher low. Keep in mind, weekly we are still tapping within the actual double bottom formation. So within that box, this is a potential area as well where we can find ourselves heading back towards the upside. Can you see? Once we broke above, we haven't came back for a retest, and Nasdaq love to come back at areas where it haven't retested just off yet. Okay, and that's literally it for our daily time frame. So if I'm gonna scale down to my actual 4-hourly time frame and see what's happening on my 4-hourly time frame, what is happening over here? What is happening over here, right? So I'm gonna adjust this a little bit, just like that. Now, what's happening on my 4-hourly time frame? Let's identify structure first. Okay, let's identify structure. Let's start off from this point over here where we do have this nice low. We do have this nice actual higher low over there, to market giving us a lower low. We head all the way towards the upside, you know, rejected this area of resistance, smash price all the way towards the downside, and this would now be considered as a lower low, right? But there's one thing that is currently fiddling with me when it comes down to Nasdaq. Only one thing. Diego, are we in a range bound market? Are we in a range bound market? Yes or no? You know, for me, I will say yes. Why? Mainly because, you know, if I see that we have two respects on my actual area of support, two respects on our actual area of resistance, you know, I will consider it as an actual range bound market. So as you can see over here, right, we had multiple respects on our area of resistance over there. Currently, we do have two respects on this area over here, right, our area of support. Now if we can basically close below our area of support, you know, all I'm gonna wait for is a retest and take price back towards the downside, back inside this actual, you know, area over here, an area of support over there, right? And if we basically gonna have to close below this area, hit all the way down here, have a nice correction, come all the way towards the downside, all I'm gonna wait for, retest, where will I take price into? Where can I take price into? I'm gonna take price back inside this area, which we have over here. As you can see, this is strong area as well. You know, we respected it as support, we close below, you know, we close back above. Have we came back for a retest over here? No, we haven't. Right, so price can easily, if we're gonna have a closure below this area, you know, I want to see price hit all the way back towards the downside, back inside this region, wait for some sort of rejection for a potential move back towards the upside, right? Because we are literally waiting for that actual higher low on our weekly time frame for that potential move back towards the upside, right? Back towards the upside. So I hope that you have a clean understanding when it comes down to basically, you know, zone to zone trading. You know, I don't want to find myself boxing out an area and basically have an overall target, because I am a scalp trader. I am a scalper, right? So if we're gonna remain above this area, if we're gonna close above this area over here, which I will consider as an actual, you know, arranged market, I'm gonna wait for price to hit all the way up, close above, wait for the retest, and then have a move back towards the upside, back inside my area of resistance. Okay, back inside my area of resistance. Now obviously I just said that I'm a scalp trader. You know, my 4-hourly time frame, 2-hourly time frame, 1-hourly time frame would be my direction on where I want price to go. So basically saying that if we're gonna have a closure above this area, this is gonna mean that we are creating an actual higher high. So I'm gonna wait for the actual pullback. So now I have an actual direction. Can you see my direction is now bullish? Right now I'm looking for buying opportunities towards the upside. on my 30 to 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, I will then have my areas box out on where I basically want to take price into. So in overall, this area would be my playground area basically. Okay, this whole area would be my playground area until we basically, potentially hit back inside that region over there. Okay, clean, simple. Clean, simple. In an area of resistance, all I'm going to be looking for is selling opportunities. In an area of support, all I'm going to be looking for is buying opportunities. Where do I, well, basically boxing out my areas of support and resistance, you basically want to box out areas where we have multiple respects, as you can see, once we tapped inside this area over here, we basically move into the opposite direction. Once we tap inside this area over here, we move into the opposite direction. As you can see over here, once we tap into our area of resistance, we move in the opposite direction. Once again, once we tap into the area of resistance, we move into the opposite direction. Once we broke above, we came back for the retest and we basically moved into the opposite direction, right? So if we're gonna basically respect this area and have them move all the way towards the upside, I'm first gonna wait for price to close above this actual area, which I consider as a range, then wait for the retest, then for potential move back towards the upside, back inside my area of resistance over there. If we're gonna have to have a closure below, all I'm gonna be waiting for is a retest for potential move back towards the downside, back inside this area over here. Once again, respect it all the way down, respect it all the way down, respect it all the way down. Once we broke above, respect it all the way up, right? All the way up. So keep trading simple, keep trading simple, keep trading simple. If we're gonna have a break below this area, what are you gonna be waiting for? You're gonna be waiting for the retest for potential move back towards the downside, back inside this region, and wait for some sort of rejection. Keep in mind, higher time frame, weekly time frame, we are having that actual double bottom formation over there, so we then can expect a potential further move towards the upside. Okay, I hope that you have a clean understanding of what I basically just went through. If you are looking for a trusted broker, I have a link inside the actual description, so you can find yourself clicking on the link, opening up your account at IFX Brokers, and find yourself leveling up. If you don't have TradingView, in my description I have a TradingView link over there as well. Find yourself playing around on TradingView. This is a nice platform to basically do your analysis. Your entries would obviously be on your smartphone, where you're going to enter that buy or that sell opportunity. Okay, so that's literally it from my side. I hope that you have a clean understanding, and I'm wishing you a blessed week. Please do trade safe, please do use money management, and I will see you when I see you. Take over, let's go.